Hello boys and girls, a very good morning and welcome to this live refresher session on the IBPS Clerk's main examination brought to you by TalentSprint. Well, at the outset I would like to congratulate you all for clearing the IBPS Clerk's preliminary examination and wish you the best for your IBPS Clerk's main exam appearance, which is gonna take place in a couple of days from now, right? And I'm sure all of you are fully geared up and you're confident about your performance in this exam. And just to add value to your preparation and boost your confidence, TalentSprint as usual presents these refresher sessions where we will try and cover as many concepts as possible and refresh the concepts basically and do a kind of quick revision about various things that you have learned so that you can walk into the examination center with full of confidence. All right, I think we have already done one session as a part of this refresher series, which was held yesterday at 11 AM, and this was on English language done by Sylvia. Today we'll be looking at the other two subjects, quantitative aptitude and reasoning ability. So we'll start with reasoning ability now, and then in the session afternoon we will be looking at quantitative aptitude. All right, so what are we going to do here is solve questions from the reasoning ability section of the IBPS Clerk's main examination. Let me tell you, all the questions that we will take up today have been chosen from the All-India mock exams and the other mock exams conducted by TalentSprint, right? And these are some questions which were found to be difficult by many of our students. So based on the kind of response that we have got through the mock exams conducted on IBPS Clerk's examination, main examination, these questions have been chosen here. So if you're all set and ready, we can get started with this session on reasoning ability. I can see that many of you have joined the chat here. We have Kranti, Neeraj, Rahul, Grishma, we have Shubham Singh, and then Spandana and many others there, right? Varshini, Shilpa. So good to see you all. I hope all of you are healthy and you are geared up for this examination, right? So should we start? Yeah, we have got a few confirmations here from Pavani, Vidya, Rajan, Naveen and others that we can get started. So what I would do now is, present the questions that we have chosen and give you some time to try it out yourself first. And once I get enough responses, we will look at the discussion. All right. Yeah, many others have joined. Shubham Panda, Sandhya, Monika, Ramal Lakshmi, Ashok Kumar, Tanya, and we have Sonu, Prabhakar, Falak Kazi. Just give me a minute while I pull out the presentation and then present the questions to you all. So the IBPS Clerk's main exam, like you all know, is scheduled for this Sunday. I'm sure it's going to be very, very important day in your life, right? And I hope all of you will do well and let the best aspirants and candidates win, right? If you don't perform well, don't get dejected or disappointed. I mean, success and failure is a part and parcel of life. Just bounce back with better preparation for the upcoming camps, right? So yeah, I think I'm ready now, so I can share the first set of questions with you all, right? Like I said, I'll present these questions to you, give you some time to try it out yourself, and then give you the right solutions. So let's get started with something on blood relations. Okay, these, again, like I said, these questions have been taken up from our All-India mock exams based on the kind of responses that we've got from our students. So let me present the first set of questions, and these are from blood relations. Here we go. So I hope all of you can see the shared screen here. Now look at the directions. Study the following information and answer the questions given below. So there's some data given to you here, right? P equals to Q means Q is the father of P. P star Q means P is the sister of Q. P question mark Q means P is the mother of, sorry, I think there's some error here. It should be P is the mother of Q, not P is the mother of P, right? Then we have P dollar Q, which means P is the brother of Q, right? Likewise, we have got a couple of other statements. So based on this data, you got to answer the given question, right? Look at the question. It says which of the following is not definitely correct based on the given information. I think we'll do one thing. Sorry about this. Before we take up this one, let's get this printing error rectified, right? And while that gets done, let me present another question to you all, right? Yeah, so I think let's start with machine input output. Apologies for that printing error there. We are fixing it. Let's look at something on machine input output, and the question is on your screens now. Here we go. Directions. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. Now look at the information here. It says a word and number arrangement machine, when given an input line of words and numbers, rearranges them following a particular rule in each step. The following is an illustration of an input and its rearrangement. Okay, so there's an input given here which is a combination of words and numbers. You see 46, nice, 36, friend, 26, help, bright, 76, kind, 66. And then we have been given the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. Yeah. Now based on this illustration given here, see it says step 5 will be the last step of the input as per the rules followed in the above steps, right? Now we have to find out the similar, we have to follow a similar process and get the output for the given input here. See, there's another input given to us: arrow, paint, 58, lamp, 38, each, 78, great, 18, most, 48, 88. So basically try and understand the illustration, right? Look at the output, understand the logic behind the output, then look at the step-by-step process and do the same thing, repeat the same thing for the given input. Once you have done the same process for the given input, you can answer the questions very easily, right? Usually there are 5 questions asked along with this, like you can see the first question here: which step number is the following output? So there's some output given there and he's asking you to find out the step number for the following output. Yeah, and an input again has been given here for your reference. Then which word or number would be 5th to the left of 6th element from the right in step 5? Which element would be 11th from right in step 5? How many words or numbers are there between 78 and SEACH in step 3? Then what is the position of 59 in step 4 and so on, right? So these kind of questions are usually asked, but then for you to be able to answer those questions, you got to understand this illustration and do the step-by-step process first. So I'll leave you all with this data for 5 minutes. Try out the given input yourself and then we can look at the questions asked. Your time starts now. We have a comment here from a Punjabi boy who says that this is time consuming. Well, yes, this is time consuming, but it will fetch you 5 marks. And if you have solved such questions during your preparation, you will be able to do it in like 3 minutes. And spending 3 minutes to bag 5 marks is a good deal in my view, right? It will not take more than 3 minutes. So try it. have a comment here from one of our students which says, sir, 26 becomes 27 in step 2. Is it correct? Well, that's for you to find out. You are supposed to read the steps there and understand what is happening with the numbers and the words. Yeah. I think half of the time is up already, more than 3 minutes. You have just 2 more minutes to work on this one and then we will take it up. Alright, so answers have started coming in. I think many of you have been able to solve this. To name a few, we have Shubham Gupta, Sandhya, Kirti Kiran, and Paras, Pavani, Grishma, and others who have done it, right? Sai Divya, Tanya, then we have Anchal Sharma, Mosumi Sharma, and others. So good, I think good job if you have been able to do it in about 3 minutes. Let's get started with the solution now. So time is up. All of you can now pay attention to the solution that we are going to discuss now. So look at this question here. Alright, so it says a word and number arrangement machine, when given an input line of words and numbers, rearranges them following a particular rule in each step. The following is an illustration of an input and its rearrangement. So basically, you know what happens in machine input output, right? There is a stream of words and numbers which is, you know, fed into a machine, which rearranges that into an output following a, you know, step-by-step process. So here is the input line of words and numbers: 46 nice, 36 friend, 26 help, bright, 76 kind, 66, right? So this is the input. Now step-by-step process has been given here, illustrated here, and it says step 5 will be the last step of the input. Now as per the rules that have been followed here, we have to find out the output for the given input as well, right? We have to find out the appropriate steps for the given input. So the new input given to us is arrow, paint, 58 lamp, 38 each, 78 great, 18 most, 48 88. Now basically, if you recall what was discussed in our machine input output videos, right, in the basic concepts of machine input output, I have told you guys that the first step in machine input output is to look at the last step. Do not worry about what has happened in step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4, right? Always look at the last step first and try to understand the logic behind the rearrangement, right? Once we are clear with why the output has been obtained in this fashion, it will be easy for us to follow the step-by-step process. You're getting it? So let's look at the last step. Now, if I see the last step, there are some surprises here, right? See, all these words have been changed in a way that it's starting with S now. Like the word bright has become S bright. The word friend has become S friend. The word help has become S help. Then similarly we have S kind and S nice. So basically, you know, the letter S has been added to each of these words at the start of each of these words. But then we have got the words in the beginning: bright, friend, help, kind, nice. I'm neglecting the S for the moment, but then the order is what? Bright, friend, help, kind, nice. And look at the numbers: 77, 67, 47, 37, 27. So if I ignore the starting letter S, the words have been arranged in alphabetical order. You see B, F, H, K and N, right? The words have been arranged in an alphabetical order. And look at the numbers: 77, 67, 47, 37, 27. Clearly the numbers have been arranged in descending order. By the way, another point to be noted is the numbers have also got changed. Like what we have seen in words, numbers have also got changed. 76 has become 77, 66, 67, 26 has become 27, 36 has become 37. So each number has increased by 1. Each number has been increased by 1. So net the observation is in step 5, which is the last step, all the words have been arranged in the beginning followed by numbers towards the end. All the words in the beginning and numbers at the end. The words have been arranged in alphabetical order: B, F, H, K, N, right? We are neglecting S for the sake of understanding the output. And then the numbers have been arranged in descending order. Now let's look at the step-by-step process to understand how has this been done, right? Look at step 1. Try to observe the change from input to step 1. What is the change? So 46, nice, 36, friend is as it is. You see the word bright has been changed to S bright, right? The word bright has been changed to S bright. So this is one change. 26 has come here. So till friend there was no change. 46, nice, 36, friend as it is. 26 has been increased by 1. It becomes 27, has been brought here, right? The word bright has been changed to S bright and has been moved to this position. And then we have help, 76, kind and 66. So the observation is in step 1 we have moved bright and 26. Another observation is whenever we are moving a word, it looks like whenever you move a word you add the letter S to it, and whenever you move a number you increase it by 1. So bright was moved, it was made S bright. 26 was moved, it was made 27. It's made 27. Everything else is as it is without any shift in the positions. Now the question that arises is, why have bright and 27 been moved like this? And why have they been brought to the middle? Is there any logic behind that? What is happening there? So I think what we will do is look at the next step as well. Like what happened from step 1 to step 2. Look at step 1 to step 2. 46 and nice are as it is. If you observe, bright and 27 have been moved a little bit aside. In the middle we have got two new elements. What are these? The word friend and the number 37. So basically friend, since it has been moved, has been made as friend. 36, since 36 has been moved, it has been made 37. Right? So a common observation is whenever you move a word, add S to it. Whenever you move a number, add 1 to it. And then everything else is as it is. Help, 76, kind, 66. So the observation is we are always inserting words and numbers in the middle of the step. You're getting it? We are always observing, inserting words and number, one word and one number in the middle of the step. Like for example, as far as what I have understood so far, in the next step we should be inserting something in between S friend and 37. Like earlier we have inserted in between S bright and 27. Now we should be inserting between S friend and 37. Right? We should insert something in between S friend and 37. And that's what has happened. You see, S bright and S friend have been moved aside. In between we have got help and 47. And then 37, 27. Everything else is as it is. Again in the next step, in between S help and 47, we inserted S kind and 67. Everything else is moved aside, right? Bright, friend, help has been moved here. 47, 37, 27 have been moved here. S kind and 67 has come in the middle. And finally, in the last step, what happens? In between S kind and 67, we have inserted one word and one number. What are those words and numbers? Nice and 77. These two have been moved. Everything else has been moved aside. Bright, friend, help, kind. These four have come on the extreme left, and the numbers 67, 47, 37, 27 have been come towards the extreme right. So basically this is an insertion process. You are inserting one word and one number in the middle of the step, always in the middle of the step. You're getting it? And again, there are some few more key points which you have to note. There are total of 10 elements here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So what did we do in step 1? We have inserted bright in 27 at 5th and 6th positions. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 positions were not touched. These 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th positions are also not touched. We inserted bright in 27 in the middle, so that it becomes it comes in the centermost position, right? The two centermost positions. And then always keep inserting in between the words which have been moved. Now again, if you ask why did bright and 27 move in the first position, because eventually if you observe the process, always bright will keep getting moved towards the right hand side, left hand side, and 27 will keep getting moved, moved as in it will keep getting pushed towards the right hand side. So this way eventually we will have bright in the first position, 27 in the last position. Similarly, in the next step, if you see the word friend always keep getting pushed towards the left hand side, and the number 37 keeps getting pushed towards the right hand side. The word help here keeps getting pushed towards the left hand side. The number 47 keeps getting pushed towards the right hand side. So eventually we will get what we want, right? Eventually we will achieve what we wanted to. This is looking like a mess here, but then the idea is to understand the flow, the process, the rhythm in which the words and numbers are being moved, right? So I'll quickly repeat what we have understood so far. The arrangement is such that the words will come in the beginning, numbers at the end. The words are in alphabetical order, numbers are in descending order. All the words whenever they are moved are added with the letter S. Numbers whenever they are moved are added with a number with 1, increase by 1 basically, right? And the movement is such that in step 1 we will bring the right word and right number, basically the first word and the smallest number in the centermost position, and then we keep inserting between these new positions always to get the desired output. All right, so what are we moving? The first word as per as alphabetical order and the smallest number among the given numbers, and then keep following the same process. So we need to just do the same thing for the given input now and obtain the required output. Yeah, so let's quickly do the same thing. So I have the input given here, arrow, paint, 58, lamp, 38 each, 78, grade, 18, most, 48, 88. We have to just do the step-by-step process here, step 1 to whatever number of steps. One important point to be noted here is the number of elements have increased. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This time we have got 12 elements. So when you move the first pair of elements, a word and a number in the first step, you should bring them to which positions? The 6th and 7th positions. The center, if there are 12 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If there are 12 items, what are the centermost positions? 6th and 7th positions. Right? Now, tell me which word and which number have to be moved. See, we want the words, if you recall what happened in the first step, the word as per the alphabetical order was moved. The first word and the smallest number was moved. So follow the same process. So which will be the first word as per the alphabetical order? Arrow. The word arrow. And the smallest number here is 18. So we will bring arrow in the centermost position, basically the 6th positions, and it becomes S arrow. Remember, it becomes S arrow. S has to be added, and 18 will be brought here. So if it is brought here, it is increased by 1 again. It becomes 19. You getting it? So that's the first movement, the word and the number, and always now we will keep inserting in between this. Now keep everything else as it is, right? So remember, this is 6th position. This is 6th position. So we will keep 5 elements before S arrow. So arrow anyway has been moved, 18 has been moved. Now paint, 58, lamp, 38 each have to come before this, right? Paint, 58, lamp, 38 each, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Then we have got S arrow and 19, and now everything else has to be taken on the other side. So up to each has been obtained. Now we will get 78, great, 18 has been moved and made 19. Then we have most, 48 and 88. I think once the first step is done, it becomes easy. Now we don't have to worry about 5th and 6th positions. Insert between S arrow and 19, right? Insert between S arrow and 19. So what happens? S arrow will come here. 19 will be again pushed aside. What will come in between? See, after arrow, the next word as per the alphabetical order is what? I think it should be each, right? A and then each. So each has to be moved. And in terms of numbers, after 18, the next number that we have is 38. So each and 38. So each will become S each, right? And 38 will become 39. Copy everything else as it is, right? So paint, I'm just taking the first letter now. No point in wasting our time. Paint, 58, lamp. Remember, 38 has been moved, right? So don't copy it again. 38 has become 39. Each has also been moved. So after lamp, we anyway have arrow 19. Each and 38 have come in between. Then we have 78, great, most, 48 and 88. Just ensure that the number of elements are not increased or decreased, right? 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, right? Total 12 elements have to be there. Otherwise, you will get a wrong answer. Now what happens? In between each and 39, we have to add a word and a number. What should be the next word? See, each and 30 have also been moved. Now after each, after E we will have G, I guess, right? E, F, G, great. And in terms of number, after 38 we should have 48. So great and 48 have to come in between, right? So it becomes S great, and 48 will become 49. And move things, other things aside, right? So this will be like S arrow, S each, then 39 and 19. Copy everything else as it is. So P58 lamp, right? Remember, what did we copy? G and 49, great and 49. Now this time you should not copy these things again, otherwise you will get a wrong answer. So up to 19 is done. Then 78, G has already been moved, 48 has been moved, M and 88. Yeah. Then step 4. What happens in step 4? In between great and 49 we have to insert a word and a number. Which word and which number? Great and 48 have been moved. Now next word I guess will be lamb, right? And then 58, lamb and 58. So lamb will become S lamb, 58 will become 59. Then the things which have already been, you know, moved, right? Those have to be copied properly. So we will have S arrow, each, great, and then 49, 39, 19, right? So 4 positions have been fixed. If you see 4 positions here and 4 positions here have been fixed. Copy everything else as it is. What has been moved? Lamb has been moved, 58 has been moved. So we only have P left here on the side, and here we have, after 19 we have 78, M and 88. In step 5, what happens in step 5? In between S lamb and 59 you have to add a word and number. So lamb and 59 have moved. Now what is left out? Paint and most. So I think most should come in between as per the alphabetical order, and in terms of numbers we should have 78. So 78 will become 79. Copy everything as it is. So 59, 49, 39, 19 on this side, and here we will have S arrow, S each, S great, and S lamp. Okay, then P as it is, and on this side, see what have been moved? We have moved most and 78. 88 is left out. That's it. 6th step will be the last step. So finally in between this we should have S, what is this? Paint, right? S paint, and 88 will become 89. And you can now copy the remaining things. So 79, 59, 49, 39, 19, and on this side we can have all the words. S arrow, S each, S great, S lamb, and this should be S most. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in the alphabetical order, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in the descending order. Once you are done with this, you can answer the questions very easily. Remember, this looks like a lengthy process, but you actually will not have to spend as much time as I've spent here, because I was not solving it, I was explaining it to you, right? When you do it yourself, you will be able to save a lot of time. The only key thing that you'll have to keep in mind is, don't miss out on any word or any number when you're writing the step-by-step process. Usually what happens is, you know, in a hurry we miss out on one of the words, and then everything will go wrong, or we miss out on one of the numbers, everything goes wrong. So be very careful when you're doing it. Ensure that the count of words and numbers is same in each of the steps, is correct in each of the steps. If you have followed that, then you will definitely get the right answers. Now once you have done this in about 2.5 to 3 minutes, answering questions will become very easy. It will just be a cakewalk, right? I mean, look at the first question here. It says, which step number is the following output? So there is some output given to us here. He said, which step number is this? So compare now. See what's the output here? Paint, arrow, meaning paint, S arrow, S each, S great. So find out now. Paint, I think step 1, 2, 3 are no way in alignment with that, right? I'm looking at the first few words. Paint, S arrow, S each, S great. So paint, S arrow, S each, S great. Then S lamp, correct? Then in terms of numbers, we have 59, 49, 39. So 59, 49, 39. But next we have 78. After 39 here we have 19. So I think it doesn't match at all. There is no such step in my view, right? There is no such step. Option 4 has to be the answer. Or you can eliminate the options if you want. Third step is what? P58L. This is not P58L. What is fifth step? Fifth step is P S arrow, S each, S great, and then S lamb, and then we have S most here. Here S most is not there. So fifth step also is the wrong answer. Then here we have second step. Second step again P58L. Here it is PAE. You understand? Eliminate the wrong answers. If you don't want to find out the right answer, eliminate the wrong answers. Fourth step also has got eliminated. We have already checked that. So definitely the answer is there is no such step. Right? Move to the next question. Quickly move to the next one. It says which words or numbers would be fifth to the left of sixth element from the right in step 5. Now we don't have to do the whole process again. Just understand the question. It says which element or number will be fifth to the left of sixth element from the right in step 5. So we are talking about step 5. What is fifth to the left of sixth element from the right? Now go to step 5. This is step 5. Find out the sixth element from right. What is the sixth element from right? So this is the right hand, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth element from right is 79. He is asking us to find out. He is asking us to find out the fifth element to the left of whatever that number was. You getting it? Sixth element from the right hand is 79. So now if I replace this with 79, what happens? He says which word or number will be fifth to the left of 79. Fifth to the left of 79. Now go to the left of 79. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Fifth to the left of 79 is S arrow. So your answer should be S arrow, option 4. There's one shortcut to this. If you remember our concepts of element series, there's a topic called element series in reasoning, right? We have discussed this in our videos. So if you go to the concepts of element series, the videos of element series, we have discussed that when it is left and right in a statement, we can simply add these two numbers like fifth and sixth. What is the total? 11th. Fifth to the left of sixth element from the right hand. So fifth plus sixth, 11th element from the right should be the answer. This is the shortcut that you can follow. You don't have to worry about what is the sixth element from the right and so on, right? Smart students will know that it is going to be 11th element from the right hand. So directly they will count the 11th element from right hand in step 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th element from the right hand. Or you know that 11th element from the right hand will be second element from the left hand. Again, the concepts of ranking. If you know the position from one end, you can also find out the position from other end. So 11th from right here will be second from left. So second element from left is S arrow. Directly you can mark the answer. Right? Let's take up the next one. Which element, that is a word or number, would be 11th from the right in step 5? So technically if you see, the previous question and this one both are same. Here he is asking you to find the 11th element from the right in step 5. We have already done that. 11th element from right in step 5 is S arrow. So the answer again for the next question also would be S arrow. Question number 4 from this one. How many words or numbers are there between 78 and S each in step 3? We have to find out the number of words or numbers between 78 and S each in step 3. 78 and S each in step 3. So this is step 3. 78 is here. Where is S each? S each is here. How many words or numbers are there between these two elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? S grade, 49, 39 and 19. So 4 should be the answer. There are 4 words or numbers between 78 and S each in step 3. And the last question now. What is the position of 59 in step 4? Position of 59 in step 4. Find out the position of 59 in step 4. Position of 59 in step 4. Step 4 is here. Position of 59. 59 is here, right? So I think from the left hand side, I can say it is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Sixth from the left hand side. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Sixth from the left hand side. Right? Sixth from the left hand side. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. 7th from the right hand side. Sixth from left or 7th from right. Both can be taken as the answer. So 7th from right, option 3 will be the answer. Right? It is 6th from left. Remember, it is 6th from left, not 5th from left. So 7th from right, option 3 can be taken as a correct answer. Okay, I think with this, the 5 questions on machine input output done, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you can solve questions on machine input output. I would repeat, do not go by the length of the explanation, right? If I have spent 20 minutes explaining this, doesn't mean that it actually takes 20 minutes to solve the question here, right? I was explaining it, I was not solving it. So that's how you go about it. So I think important conclusions are that always look at the output first and decide what is the logic behind that, and then look at the step-by-step process. Follow the same process for the given input, right? Now there are, actually speaking, 2 types of questions that can be asked in machine input output. Like if you go to our videos, we have discussed this. In the first type of question, you don't have to do the whole step-by-step process like what we have done here. That's not required. You can simply use arrows and do cancellations to solve all the 5 questions directly, right? But here it will be a little difficult to apply that method because every question is a typical one, right? It is asking you to find out the number of elements between two particular elements, or position of one element with respect to some other element. So those type of questions will be difficult to answer using the first method that I just talked about, right? Anyway, in certain cases, it will be very, very easy to solve the questions using that smart method. So just go through our videos of machine input output if you are confused about these two techniques, and be very clear about it before you go for the examination. All right, let me now move to the next one. Let's take something from arrangements or puzzles. You know that these days a lot of puzzles are being asked in reasoning ability section of bank exam, right? So here again I have got one such puzzle for all of you. It's about three persons, X, Y and Z. When they were asked about their ages, they gave some data. Now one of these three persons is speaking, is giving all the false data. The other two are giving the correct data, and we don't know who's telling lies here. So we have to identify who's the liar, neglect his statements, and then based on the data given by the other two persons, we have to find out the correct ages of X, Y and Z. So very interesting one. I'll present the question to you all, leave you or give you about 2 to 3 minutes to try this, and then discuss the solution. So here's the question. See what it says. Directions. When asked about their ages, three sisters X, Y and Z answered in the following way, right? So X says Y is the youngest. Z says the difference between Y's age and mine is 3 years. Y says either I am 14 years old, or X is 15 years, or Z is 16 years. X says all are above 14 years of age. Similarly, Z, Y, X, Y, Z. So they have given different data points, right? Like finally Z says the sum of my age and X is 2 more than twice Y's age. But then look at the next point. Exactly one of them had been lying throughout. Exactly one of them. One of whom, X, Y or Z, had been lying throughout, while the others spoke the truth. So based on the above information, answer the following questions. So first of all, you have to find out who has been lying. The first question is who has been lying, X, Y, Z, or cannot be determined. And then there are other questions about their age, right? What is Z's age, what is Y's age, and what is X's age? So I think these are the 4 questions here, right? I've already given you the 4 questions. We have to find out who has been lying, and then find out Z's age, Y's age, and X's age. So I leave you with this for 4 to 5 minutes. Try it out. A very interesting question. Let's see how many of you get the right answers. Your time starts now. And by the way, this is a question from our IBPS Clerk's main mock examination number 7, right? I'm sure many of you have taken this exam already, the mock exam number 7, and must have gone through this question in your appearance there, right? So try it again now. Okay, here are some comments with regards to the previous one. Let me just address those. Kirti says, will these new type of machine input output be asked in IBPS PO and SBI PO mains? Will also be asked in clerk's mains. Well, Kirti, I don't know if they will ask these type of questions or not. All I can say is be prepared for the worst. Yeah. Okay, by the way, some of you have pointed out that I made an error in step number 4. Let me just check. Sorry about this. Let me go back to the previous one. Step number 4. Looks like I've made an error, and that's why I'm not getting the right answer. What happened? P, S arrow, S each, S grade, S lamb, 59, 49, 39, 19, 78, MN 88. I am not sure. Anyway, I think since we are running short of time, I have to take up many other questions as well. Could be that I've missed out something. That's why I said be very, very careful. Count the number of steps properly and check it. So if you find that something is wrong, correct it, and accordingly your answer for that particular question would change. But you know the process, right? The best way is to just list down all the steps and then answer these typical questions. Okay. So sorry about that. You can verify it yourself. You can correct it and get the right answer. Try this one now. Shubham Panda has asked a question. Can we get the live session video later? Yes, all the live sessions that we conduct will be added to your learning account, Shubham. You can watch it anytime you want, even if you have missed the live class. We have a comment here from Dravin Kumar who says, do you provide offline classes? Well, we have a option of pen drive and SD card that you can try out if you don't have a stable internet connection, but we don't have any classroom coaching as such. Satish Naik has already got the answer. He says X is lying. I'm waiting for others to respond. Anshul Sharma has got it. Dheeraj Tiwari says, I think Z is lying. Well, let others also respond and then we'll look at the solution. Yeah, Tanya also thinks that Z is lying. And so is Kishan's view. Spandana says, I didn't come across these type of questions till now. Well, good. There's something new today to learn. And you never know if such questions are asked in your bank exams also. I mean, the most predictable thing about these exams is unpredictable, right? Anything can be asked. So don't worry, try this out. And a lot of confusion here between X and Z. I think Rudra Aditya, Sai Divya, Pragnashri Mishra think that Z is lying, but on the other hand we have Banashri who says X is lying. Then we have Swarnajit Pal who also thinks X is lying. Confusion here, right? Two more minutes and then we'll take up. I'm sure a lot of you are still trying it out. Give it a proper try. We'll just take it up right after this. Abhishek says the chat box is not working properly. Abhishek, I can see your comment and I'm sure you're able to read comments posted by others as well. Okay, I think the confusion is still there about who's the liar here, right? Is X the liar or Z the liar? And we also have some of you who have got who found that Y is lying, like Abhishek Naidu says Y is lying. Yeah, it's like always, right? It's difficult to find out who's lying. And then some of you have also felt that answer cannot be determined. Okay, so shall we take this up now? I think enough time has been spent already. We have many other interesting questions. So let's start solving this. Okay. So here we go. The question says, when asked about their ages, three sisters, X, Y, and Z answered in the following way. Right, so they have given these kind of responses. Look at the responses. X has said that Y is the youngest. Z says the difference between Y's age and mine is 3 years. Then Y says either I am 14 years old, or X is 15 years, or Z is 16 years old. Then again, next comes X's turn, right? All are above 14 years of age. Then Z says I am the eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. Then Y says Z is elder to me. Again, X says I am the eldest. Y says Z is not 17 years old. And then finally Z says the sum of my age and X is 2 more than twice Y's age. Right? Then we have another data point here. It says exactly one of them had been lying throughout. Now this is interesting, right? Exactly one of these three guys, right? X, Y, and Z had been lying throughout while the others spoke the truth. Now we do not know who was the liar. Is X the liar, or Y the liar, or Z the liar? Now, based on the above information, we have to answer the following questions. What are the questions? First question is who has been lying, and then the remaining 3 questions are about their ages. X's age, Y's age, and Z's age. Right? We have to find the ages. So basically all we have to do is find out who's the liar and then calculate the ages of X, Y, and Z. Now how do we do this? Well, understand exactly one of them was lying. So either X or Y or Z. Now let's assume that X is the liar. If X is a liar, then you have to consider the statements of Y and Z to be true and find out the answers. If everything goes fine, if you find out all the other statements to be correct, assuming X is the liar, if other statements hold true, statements given by Y and Z, and it is giving us the data properly, then it can be taken as a correct answer. If you find something is going wrong there, then you have to understand that X is not the liar, either Y or Z is the liar. This is how you do it. You're getting it? So let's assume X is the liar. Case number one, let's assume X is liar. X is lying, right? X is the liar here. Now if X is the liar, we'll neglect all the statements given by X, right? That Y is youngest, then all the above are 14 years of age, and the third statement, I am the eldest. These 3 are to be considered to be wrong basically. Neglect action, these are not the correct statements. X is lying, right? So when X says I am the eldest, he is actually not the eldest. When X says all are above 14 years of age, it is incorrect. All are not above 14 years of age. And then when X says Y is the youngest, it need not be correct, right? So assuming X is lying, let's look at the statements of Z and Y now, right? So first statement of Z, it says the difference between Y's age and mine is 3 years. Y's age and mine. Who's mine here? Z here. So this is correct statement. Remember, the statements given by X and Z and Y are correct. The statements given by Z and Y are correct. So Z says the difference between Y's age and mine is 3 years. So basically Y difference Z is equal to 3. That's the first point. Then Y says either I am 14 years old, or X is 15 years old, or Z is 16 years old. Remember, either I am 14 years old, I here is Y. So either Y is 14 years, or X is 15 years, or Z is 16 years. You're getting it? Any one of these 3 is correct. Not all 3 are correct, right? So either Y is 14, or X is 15, or Z is 16. Any one of these 3 have to be correct. So this is first point, this is the second point, right? Then Z says I am the eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. Z says I am the eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. So this is a if condition. We have to come back to this later. Y says Z is elder to me. Y says Z is elder to me. So now remember, this is a correct statement. We know that Y is saying truth here. I mean, we have assumed that X is lying, so Y and Z are saying the truth. So Y says Z is elder to me. So if Y says Z is elder to me, we can now conclude that in the order Z is elder than Y. Sorry, yeah, Z is elder to me means Z is elder than Y. So Y is less than Z, or Z is greater than Y. Z is greater than Y. And this statement also can be now written correctly, right? This means earlier it was difference, about difference. Y difference Z is 3. Now I can say Z minus Y is equal to 3.
Z minus Y is equal to 3. See, up until now, I mean, till this statement was given, we didn't know who is the elder person. Now it's very clear that Z is the elder person because Y has made a statement that Z is elder to me. So Z minus Y, Z will be more. Z minus Y should be equal to 3, right? Then the statement of X should be neglected, right? I am the elder should be neglected. Y says Z is not 17 years old. Z is not 17 years old, okay? And then Z has given another statement, right? This third statement also has to, I mean, this statement also has to be taken correct. The sum of my age and X, who is my here? Z. So my and X, so Z plus X, so the sum of my age and X is, means equal to, is 2 more than twice of Y's age, 2 more than twice of Y's age, that means 2 plus 2Y. So these are the correct data points. Basically these are the correct data points. The sum of my age and X, Z plus X, is 2 more than twice of Y's age. So this is one statement that we know, that Z minus Y is equal to 3. Then either Y is 14 or X is 15 or Z is 16. This is the other thing we know. The third thing we know is, you know, Y is younger than Z or Z is elder than Y, right? Definitely. And then the fourth statement that we have is Z plus X is equal to 2 plus 2Y is equal to 2 plus 2Y. Okay. Now, yeah, I think all the statements have been considered, right? Another point is Z says I am the eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. Z will be the eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. Now what we will do is I think we will try and club these two statements. So basically try to find out the ages and see if all the conditions are getting satisfied. And also remember, these are also useful. I mean, I am not saying that the statements given by X are not useful. The statements given by X are also useful, right? Statements of X have to be wrong. So based on the data that you get, you should find that Y should not be the youngest. Again, I mean, we can use the clue now itself if you want. We have assumed that X is liar. X says Y is the youngest. Since X is liar, I should conclude that Y is not the youngest. Y is not the youngest. Yes or no? We are assuming X is lying. If X is lying, Y is youngest should be wrong. So Y is not the youngest. Y is not the youngest. Now connect to this statement. Understand, we know that Y is not the youngest. Y is not the youngest. Why is Y not the youngest? Because X is lying. Because X is lying. X is lying, Y is not the youngest. If Y is not the youngest, there is someone younger than Y. Who should that person be? It should be X. So now at least the order is very clear. I already know that Y is younger than X. Now I also know that Y is not the youngest. So X has to be the youngest person. So X is less than Y and Y is less than Z. X is less than Y, Y is less than Z. You have understood. So far we have considered only Y statements given by Y and Z. Now I am looking at X statement also. X should be wrong. All the statements of X are wrong. So Y is not the youngest. So X, Y, Z is the order. X less than Y, less than Z. Similarly, the statement made by X, all are above 14 years of age. This also is wrong. Right? All need not be 14 years of age. So this also is a wrong statement. And the third statement, X, I am the, which I mean the other statement given by X, I am the eldest is also wrong. Yes, X is not the eldest. You see? This is also wrong. This is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong. Means Y is not. So X is, I am the eldest is wrong. Yes, X is not the eldest. X is the youngest. So all the statements have been considered. Now try to find out the values. Try to find out the values. I think we will try to use these two statements, right? Here it says Z minus Y equals to 3, right? So let's assume Z is equals to Y plus 3. I mean, Z is equal to Y plus 3. There's no assumption. Z is equal to Y plus 3. So I'm substituting that here. You're getting it? Z is equal to Y plus 3. So Y plus 3 plus X equals to 2 plus 2Y. Y plus 3 plus X equals to 2 plus 2Y. So what happens now? I think we'll get what? Is it helping us in any way? X plus 3 equals to this Y and 2Y. I mean 2Y minus Y will give you Y, right? Y plus 2. Or basically I can say Y minus X is equal to 1. Y minus X. Y minus X is equal to 1. Y minus X is equals to 1. Okay. Y minus X equals to 1. So how do we find out one of the numbers? At least one of the numbers have to be found, right? Okay, I think we have not used this data. We know that Y is 14 years old, or X is 15 years old, or Z is 16 years old. Okay. Now understand the point. We know X, you look at this statement given by X. X says all are above 14 years of age. All are above 14 years of age. We have already got the order x less than y less than z. If you take x equals to 15 here, if you consider x is 15 years old, what happens? X is 15, y and z are more than 15. If x is 15, y and z will be more than 15, which means all the three will become more than 14 years old. If you assume x to be 15, definitely y and z will be more than 15. So x is 15, y and z are more than 15, which means all of them are more than 14 years old. Which means the statement given by x will become correct. All are above 14 years of age will become correct. But they should not be correct. You are able to follow. You are assuming x is lying. All are above 14 years of age should be wrong. That means x cannot be 15 years. So either y should be 14 years or z should be 16 years. Either y has to be 14 years or z has to be 16 years. Okay. Now let's assume y is 14 years. See, one of these three have to be correct. X15 is already ruled out. Let's assume y is 14 years. What happens if y is 14 years? If you assume y is 14 years, x should be 13 years. Or if you assume y is 14 years, z will become 17 years. A simpler observation is if y is 14, if you take y equals to 14, z should be 17, right? Because 17 minus 14 is 3. But we know that z is not 17 years old. Y had mentioned this correct statement that z is not 17 years old. So z cannot be 17. If z cannot be 17, y cannot be 14, which means y cannot be 14. So the only conclusion is z is 16 years old. So now it's concluded that z is equal to 16 years. If z is 16 years, y will be 13 years because z minus y is 3. And if y is 13 years, x will be 12 years because y minus x equals to 1. So this is the data that we have got. And I think all the statements have been satisfied. So I can take this itself is the correct answer. That y is x equals to 12 years, y is equal to 13 years, and z is equal to 16 years. And x is a liar because all the conditions have been satisfied. You understand? We assumed x is lying. Assuming that x is lying, we have got these values. What you can do is you can quickly read all the statements once again and verify whether they are following or not. Like for example, statement given by x, y is youngest, should be wrong. Yes, it is wrong. Y is not the youngest. So this condition has been satisfied. X is liar. Remember, x is liar, so they should be wrong. So satisfied. Second, the difference between y's age and z's age is 3 years. Satisfied. It is a true statement. Satisfied. So this is satisfied. This is satisfied. Sorry, the first one is satisfied. Second one is satisfied. Let me clear all the. I'm sorry. I think I've cleared all the data. But then, what did we get? I think we got the order as x less than y less than z when we assume x is lying. Right? And we got the values as 12, 13 and 16. So first statement is satisfied, right? X is giving all the wrong data. So x says y is youngest. Yes, y is not the youngest. So this condition has been satisfied. Z says difference between y's age and mine is 3 years. Yes, satisfied. Y says either I am 14 years old or x is 15 years old or z is 16 years old. What did we find? Z is 16 years old. So this also is satisfied. Any one of two be correct? Satisfied. X said all of the above are 14, all are above 14 years of age. It should be wrong. Yes, it is wrong. Not all of them are 14 years of age. So this is also satisfied. Z says I am eldest if and only if y is not the youngest. Yes, this also is correct, right? Z is the eldest when y is not the youngest. So this also is satisfied. Then y says Z is elder to me. It is also correct. Z is elder to me. X says I am the eldest. It should be wrong. Yes, X is not the eldest. Satisfied. Y says Z is not 17 years old. Yes, Z is not 17 years old. It's also satisfied. And last statement, the sum of my age and x is 2 more than twice of y's age. Sum of my age is z. Z plus x should be 2 more than twice of y's age. You can check this. Z plus x. Z plus x is how much? 16 plus 12. 28. Yes, it is 2 more than twice of y's age. You substitute here, right? 2 into 13 is 26. 26 is 28. And this sum is also 28. So 28, 28 balance. This also is satisfied. So since all the conditions are satisfied, we can say that we can conclude that yes, actually x is the liar and the ages are 12, 13 and 16 respectively. Right? Now let me also do the other thing for you guys, right? Like for example, let's say if some of you assume y is the liar or z is the liar, how will you find out where it breaks? We have already got the answers. We are lucky that whatever we assumed is correct. X is the liar we assumed and it is correct. So who has been lying? X has been lying. What is z's age? Z's age is 16 years, right? Z's age is 16 years. What is y's age? Y's age is 13 years. What is x's age? X's age is 12 years. We have got the answers. But assume that if we consider some other case, what happens? Like for example, let's assume y is the liar. So I'm clearing it up. Remember, question has been solved. We are seeing how we go wrong in these kind of questions or how to find out that our assumption is wrong. So case 2, if you assume y is the liar or y is lying, what happens? Statements made by y have to be incorrect. This is wrong, and this is wrong. Statements made by y have to be incorrect, which means statements given by x and z have to be considered to be correct. This should be correct. X should be correct. This should be correct. Right? X and z have to be correct. X and z have to be correct. Yeah. So look at the statements. X says y is youngest. Yes. If x is saying y is youngest, then y is youngest. Y is the youngest person, and there will be someone here and then here. Right? Then z says the difference between y's age and mine is 3 years. So same thing again. Difference between y's age and mine is 3 years. And since y is the youngest, I can now conclude that z minus y should be equal to 3. Right? Then this statement has to be wrong. Forget about this for now. X says all are above 14 years of age. This should be correct. All are above 14 years of age has to be correct. Right? Minimum 14 years of age. Then z says I am eldest if and only if y is not the youngest. Okay, now look at this. Z says what? I am eldest if and only if y is not the youngest. And this should be a correct statement because that is the truth. I mean, he speaks the truth, right? So I am the eldest. I will be the eldest if and only if y is not the youngest. But y is the youngest. If y is the youngest, z will not be the eldest, which means z will come here. And hence x will come here. You're able to follow. Z statement is correct. He says I will be the eldest person if and only if y is not the youngest. Sorry, I think it should be the other way. Let me clear this. Z says I will be the eldest person if and only if y is not the youngest. But here y is the youngest person. If y is the youngest person, z cannot be the eldest person. So z has to come in between and x will become the eldest person. You able to follow? Z cannot be the eldest person. So z has to come in between and x has to be the elder person. Now, x's statement. I am eldest. Yes, x is already eldest. Y statement has to be wrong, and then z says sum of my age and x is 2 more than. This is always, I mean, z also will be correct. So z says sum of my age and x is z plus x should be 2 more than twice of y's age. Now, somewhere or the other, you'll find that it is going against one of the statements. For example, like for example, let's get some numbers. Like look at the statement made by x. It says all are above 14 years of age. X has said that all should be above 14 years of age. This should be a correct statement. All are above 14 years of age. The difference between y's age and mine is 3 years. It has been considered. All are above 14 years of age has to be considered. Z's point has also been taken. Y says z is elder to me. This statement is going wrong. You see, we know that y is the truth. Y is not speaking truth. What did y say? Z is elder to me. We actually got z to be elder to be. Z is elder than y, right? This should be wrong. This statement should be wrong. Are you able to follow? Why? Because y is the liar. The person y is the liar here. So if he is the liar, he said z is elder to me. This should be incorrect. But actually, this is coming out to be correct, right? Z is elder than y. You see. That's where it is going wrong. I have got the sequence. We have got the sequence of y, z and x based on the data given by x and z, because these guys are saying the truth. Right? Based on this data only, we have got the sequence. But this sequence is also satisfying what y had told us, that z is elder to me. Right? It should not satisfy this, because y is not the, y is the liar. That's why this is wrong. This conclusion is wrong. Y is liar is wrong. Yeah, and then similarly, when you take z is the liar, you will find out that somewhere it is going wrong. I mean, if you want, I can take up that as well. Let's quickly take up that condition as well. What happens? What happens if you take z is a liar? How does it go wrong? We don't have to do all this drama in the exam. Remember, it is not a time-consuming question. We have already got the answer. X is a liar, and we have got their ages. I am showing you what happens if we take the other cases. How will we find that these are these are wrong cases? Like z is a liar. Z is a liar. Let's assume. That is a liar. So statements made by z have to be incorrect. Statements made by z have to be incorrect. Which means statement made by y and x have to be correct. Whatever x says and whatever y says have to be correct. This one should be correct. This one should be correct. This has to be correct. This has to be correct. This has to be correct. And this has to be correct. So let's see what happens. Let's consider the correct statements first. So x says y is youngest. Okay. Y is youngest. So y is less than someone and that someone is less than someone else, right? 3 persons, right? 1, 2, 3. Y is the youngest person. Okay. Now y says either I am 14 years or x is 15 years or z is 16 years. Okay, we will take this later. X says all are above 14 years of age. X says all are above 14 years of age. Fine. This also will take up whenever it comes. Y says z is elder to me. Obviously z will be elder to him only because y is the youngest, z is elder to me. X says I am the eldest. X says I am the eldest. X is the eldest. So z comes here. So sequencing is done. Y, z and x. Because x says I am eldest. Consider these two statements. No? X is saying y is youngest and x is saying I am eldest. So obviously y is youngest, x is eldest, z comes in between. And y says z is not 17 years old. This also has been done, right? Z is elder to me is done. Y says z is not 17 years old. Okay. Now what happens? How we find that this case is wrong? Z is liar is wrong. Understand, we know that all of them should be above 14 years of age. All of them should be above 14 years of age because X has made this statement that all are above 14 years of age, right? And this statement says that either Y is 14 years or X is 15 years or Z is 16 years. Now, since X tells that all are 14 years of, all are above 14 years of age, Y cannot be 14 years. All of them should be above 14 years. Remember, they should be above 14 years, which means minimum age should be 15 years. Minimum age of X, Y and Z should be 15 years because X is the truth speaking person, right? And he has made this statement that all of the above, all of the persons are above 14 years of age. So Y cannot be 14 years old. Y should be at least 15 years old. Now, if Y is, this is ruled out, what happens? If you take X as 15, we already know that X is the youngest, eldest person. If X itself is 15, Z will become 14, Y will become 13 in one of the cases. If you take X as 15, Z will become 14. If Z is 14, Y will become 13, assuming there is a gap of 1 year, let's say, in their ages. But then Y and Z are becoming 14 or less than 14, which is not allowed because X is saying all are above 14 years of age. So X also cannot be 15. If X is not 15, then definitely Z is 16 because one of these three have to be correct, right? This is the statement given by Y that either I am 14 or X is 15 or Z is 16. So these two are, which means Z is 16 years. So it is decided that Z is 16 years now. Z is 16 years old. So X should be more than 16, Y should be less than 16. Again, Y has to be 15 years only. Why should Y be 15 years? Because, all are above 14 years of age. Y cannot be 14. Y has to be more than 14 and less than 16. Y should be more than 14 and less than 16. So obviously Y is 15, Z is 16. Right? Now, where is it going wrong? Where is it going wrong? See, this statement also is fine. Y is not 17 years old also is fine. Yeah, Y is not 17 years old. Now, I think this statement, I think this statement is getting violated. See, what is that saying? I am eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. You understand? This is a very, very tricky statement. You have to understand this carefully, right? I am eldest. I will be the eldest. I meaning Z. Z will be the eldest person if and only if Y is not the youngest person. In our case, Y is the youngest person. In our case, Y is the youngest person. If Y is the youngest person, according to this statement, Z should not be the eldest person. Yeah, Z is not the eldest person. But this is getting satisfied. Actually, this should not get satisfied because Z is a liar. Remember, Z is a liar. You understand? This statement made by Z is getting satisfied in this case, right? In our case that we have obtained. Because what did Z say? Z say, I will be eldest if and only if Y is not the youngest. Here, Y is the youngest. If Y is youngest, Z cannot be the eldest. If Y is youngest, I will be eldest if and only if Z will be the eldest person if and only if Y is not the youngest. Since Y is the youngest person, Z should not be the eldest person. So Z comes here. Which means this condition is getting satisfied here. But actually should not get satisfied because Z is a liar. So this is where it breaks. You understand? So Z is a liar is breaking in this particular case. Let me highlight this. This is a very, very important statement that all of you must understand. This condition is getting, this is not getting satisfied. So definitely the answer that we had obtained, who's been lying, X has been lying, is correct. You don't have to actually check this. In the first case itself, we have understood that X is the liar. Yeah. So final answer is case 3 also is wrong. So X is the liar. And I think the ages that we had got was X is 12 years, Y is 13 years, and Z is 16 years. So who's the liar? X is the liar. What is Z's age? 16 years. What is Y's age? 13 years. What is X age? 12 years. Now I know this again has taken quite some time to solve, but I was explaining you what is actually not required. All right. The data was given by 3 persons. Finally, it says one of these persons is always lying and the other 2 are always speaking the truth. We don't know who's lying, right? So we have to assume the first person is lying and then check all the conditions. If all the conditions are satisfied, then we can conclude that as the answer. If somewhere it breaks, then you have to go for the second person or third person. So here we were lucky. In the first case itself, we found that when we consider X to be the liar, we found that all the conditions are getting satisfied. So we can end the solution there. I just showed you the other 2 cases so that you know how to eliminate the possibilities, right? So many of you had marked that Y is a liar, right? So for all those who marked Y is a liar, you know where it goes wrong. If Y is a liar, one of the statements, one of the conditions was not followed. Similarly, many of you marked Z to be the liar. So if Z is the liar, again, one of the conditions was breaking down there, right? All the conditions have to be followed. If Z is a liar and X and Y are the true speaking guys, and all the conditions accordingly have to be followed. Okay. So very meticulously you have to check where is it actually going wrong. If all the conditions are satisfied with the case that you have assumed, then that can be considered as the correct answer. And again, it has taken more time because I had explained you the other 2 cases also, and then I am explaining it to you. I am not solving it for myself. Right? Explanation obviously takes a longer time. So interesting puzzle. I am sure many of you have not come across such kind of puzzles so far, but be prepared. You never know what will happen in bank exams. And again, like I've always said, the best way to solve puzzles and complex arrangements, be it complex circular arrangements or complex linear arrangements, is not to solve these. So if some of you still feel that this is actually really very complex and very lengthy, you don't have to try this in the exam, right? Just skip and go to the next one. First, solve all the easier questions, and only if time permits, come back. Right? Only if time permits, come back and try one of the puzzles that is given there or one of the arrangements that is given there. Okay? Remember, the strategy in the exam is to skip this and go to the next one. You never know how much time it would take. Like if you start with the assumption that Z is a liar, you will find that it is wrong. Then you have to start with the assumption that Y is a liar. Again, that also comes up. Finally, you will come to the right conclusion. So you never know how complex and how time consuming can it get. Okay. So remember, skip is the best solution for puzzles and complex arrangements. Right. And when I say skip, I am not saying that you have to skip it forever. Solve the easier questions first. For that moment, you skip it. Eventually, at the end of the exam, and whatever time is left out, try out whichever you think is the easiest of the given puzzles. Okay. Now let's go back to the next question. I think we are running out of time. I guess we can just take up one more puzzle. So let me show you the next puzzle. Okay. Yeah. So this is a complex linear arrangement. There are 10 persons, 5 boys and 5 girls, who are seated in 2 rows. The persons in one row are facing north. The persons in the other row are facing south, right? And each of these 10 persons have scored a different percentage in the exam, right? Scored a different percentage in the examination. So we not only have to arrange these 10 persons, but also find out who has scored what percentage. So a kind of a complex linear arrangement, but if you are a part of TalentSprint's program, you would know that we have solved many such questions already in the past, right? About persons being arranged in 2 rows, right? One row facing north, the other row facing south. So a popular question type. Here's another one. Let me present this to you. I'll give you again about 4 to 5 minutes to try this and then take up the solution. So here's the next question. So here's the data. Let me just quickly read this out for you and then you can try it yourself. It says, study the following information and answer the questions given below. So I'll present the question later, but look at the information first. There are 10 top students. A, B, C, D, E are 5 boys and P, Q, R, S, T 5 girls. All of them are seated on 2 parallel rows. Each row consists of 6 chairs. Now this is interesting. There are only 2 parallel rows, but then each row has 6 chairs. Now this should ring a bell in your mind, right? Why 6 chairs? If there are only 5 persons in each row, why 6 chairs? Some of you or many of you would know that one of the chairs will be vacant. That's what happens usually. Now boys sit at row 1 which is facing south direction, and girls sit at row 2, which is facing north direction. One seat is vacant in each row. See, this is the point. One seat is vacant in each row. They all have scored different percentages of marks: 77, 91, 83, 92, 81, 73, 71, 74, 94, and 80, but not necessarily in the same order. 10 persons, 10 percentages, 12 chairs, 6 in north row, 6 in the south row. I mean, 6 chairs facing north, 6 chairs facing south. And here are all the clues given to you. The one who scored 81 percentage sits opposite to P. The one who has secured 77 percentage sits third to the left of T. C does not sit at any extreme end, and so on. So I leave you with this data for 5 minutes. I'm sure you'll be able to crack it if you read the data meticulously and do it properly. So your clock starts now. All right. Okay, many of you have mentioned that it's not audible. I am not sure why the problem has occurred again, but guys, you can start working on the question now. Let me see what can be done about the audio.
All right, guys, we have fixed the issue that we had with audio. I hope all of you are able to see the live stream without any difficulty now. The question is being displayed, and I'm sure you're able to hear me out very clearly, right? If you can acknowledge that, it will be great, so that we can take up the solution now. I can see a lot of you have already done it. We have Komali, Suresh, Abhishek, who have mentioned that they are done with the puzzle. And on this side we have many other students who have completed it. Yes. Okay, thank you for confirming that the audio issue is fixed. We can wait for a minute or two so that others who are still trying it out can complete the arrangement before we take up the solution. So you have 2 more minutes to try this out before we discuss the solution. Yeah, Neeraj wants us to wait for some time. So Neeraj, waiting for 2 more minutes, and then we will discuss the solution to this question. Vishal Kumar and Kirutika have also done this. All right, done. Yeah, I think many others have done this. Kiran Kumar, Tanya, Kirti Kiran, Neeraj, Preet, Vijay, Richa, Spandana. Richa, by the way, has joined late, but Spandana and Vishal Kumar have also got the solution. So it's time that we discuss this. Let me take it up now. So all I'll have to do is get some space to try out the various possibilities, right? Okay. Here we go. So look at this. It says study the following information and answer the questions given below. So what is the information here? There are 10 top students, that is A, B, C, D, E, who are 5 boys, and P, Q, R, S, T, 5 girls. All of them are seated on 2 parallel rows. Each row consists of 6 chairs. Right? So only 5 boys and 5 girls who are seated in 2 parallel rows. Right? You see there are 5 boys, A, B, C, D, E, and 5 girls, P, Q, R, S, T. But then each of these rows has got 6 chairs. So I'm assuming one of the chairs would be vacant in each row. Now read the next point. Boys sit in row 1, which is facing south direction, and the girls sit in row 2, right, which is facing the north direction, One seat is vacant in each row, right? As expected, 1 seat is vacant in each row, right? That's the reason we have got 6 chairs in each of the rows here. And what is interesting is all these guys have scored different percentages of marks, 77, 91, 83, and so on, but not necessarily in the same order. So what is the requirement here is we have to arrange these 10 top students in 2 parallel rows, which has got 6 chairs each. So basically we'll also have to find out which seat is vacant, right, which is the vacant seat there, and then allocate the right percentage of marks, right? We have to find out who has scored what percentage of marks. And for us to help, here's the data. A lot of data given to us, right? The one who scored 81% sits opposite to P. The one who has secured 77% sits third to the left of T. C does not sit at any extreme end, and so on. Okay, so let's try out all the possible cases here
and see what is the solution to this one. Okay, so I think, yeah, I've got some space now. You can see that the first question is already given here. Who among the following has scored 91%? Right? Who among the following has scored 91%? I'm sure you can answer this, right? So, so let's start solving this now. There are other 4 or 5 questions, but I think I can present this only after we are done with the solution. Okay. So what we are going to do, understand that there are 6 persons in, 6 chairs in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is, let's say, row number 1, and this is row number 2, right? Who do we have in row number 1? In row 1 we have got the boys, right? A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E. These boys sit in row number 1, and then we have P, Q, R, S, T in row 2. All the boys are facing south direction. The boys here are facing south direction, and the girls who sit in row 2, right? P, Q, R, S, T are the girls who sit in row 2, and they are facing north direction. They are facing the north direction. Now there is an importance of this north and south directions here, right? Remember, when a person is facing south, left of that person should be taken towards our right, and right should be taken towards our left. But when a person is facing north, the left is towards the left and right is towards the right. Right? The direction sense is very important, right? So for the top row, this is going to be left, and this side is going to be the right side. Okay, for A, B, C, D, right is on this side, left is on this side. And but for P, Q, R, S, T, this is going to be the right side, because these are people facing north, right? For a person facing north, right is right and left is left, and this is going to be the left side. Okay, and they've got different percentage of course, one more point given to us is that one seat is vacant in each row. One seat is vacant in each row. So we'll probably denote the vacant seat by this symbol, right? Vacant seat. So 6 persons, let's say A, B, C, D, E, X in row 1, and P, Q, R, S, T, X in row 2 have to be arranged. And different percentage of marks have also been given: 77, 91, 83, 92, 81, 73, 71, 74, 94, and 80. Okay. Now, important point to be noted is, since this is a linear arrangement with 2 rows, we have to be a little careful. See, the advantage in circular arrangement is you can start anywhere on the circle. Like, let's say these are the 6, 7 positions. Any one can be taken as the first position. So if this is first, then automatically this becomes second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And we can say left and right accordingly, based on whether the person is facing center or outwards. But in a linear arrangement, there is a definite first position, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If these are the 6 positions, this is definitely the first one. You cannot start from wherever you want. So the challenge that we have here is, unless we know a fixed position from either of the ends, we will not be able to complete the solution. We will not be able to do the arrangement at all. Okay, so we have to be careful in starting with the right point. Of course, that starting with the right point is important in circular arrangement as well, but here we have to be extra cautious, right? You need to know the position from either the left end or right end of, the row 1 and row 2, right, of both the rows. So what we will do is, we will read out the statements, we will make pictorial representations of these statements, and then try to fix them in the arrangement whenever we can. So the first point here says, the one who has scored 81% sits opposite to P. Sits opposite to P. See, it's obvious that when there are 6 chairs in top row and 6 chairs in bottom row, every person is facing some other person of the other row, right? Each person here is facing a person in the other row, either a person or the vacant chair, right? The vacant chair, right? So the point here made is that the one who has scored 81% sits opposite to P. Meaning what? See, we know that P will come in the bottom row. So P will be opposite to 81%. So this is the pictorial representation that I have. P and 81 will be opposite to each other. Where will it come? We have no clue, but we just make a point. A pictorial representation of that. The next point, the one who has secured 77% sits third to the left of T. Again, important. Whoever has got 77% sits third to the left of T. Remember, T is in the bottom row. T is in row number 2, which is people facing north. Left of T should be towards our left. Right? Left and right have to be done very carefully here. So 77 is third to the left of T. So wherever T is, third to the left of T. First, second, third. This will be 77. Right? So this is again one more piece that we have to fix. You're getting it? This is one piece. P is facing opposite to 81. This is the other piece. T, first, second, third. Third to the left of T, 77. C does not sit at the extreme end. This is again one important point that you will remember. Then the one who got 91% sits second from the right end of row 2. This is a important point. See, he very clearly has given from the right end. I told, right, we should either know the position from the left end or the right end. So this time it is given here. Whoever has got 91% sits second from the right end of row number 2. 91% second from the right end of row number 2. So let me do one thing. Let me place 6 chairs. 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is row number 1 and this is row number 2. He says 91 is second from the right end of row 2. Right end of row 2. Second from the right end. So first and second. This should be 91. What I'll do is I'll write the percentages below the dashes and names above the dashes. And in the top row I'll write percentages above the dashes and names below the dashes. Some way we'll represent. So basically the point given is 91. Whoever has got 91 sits second from the right end of row 2. So that is fixed. Now we'll try to allocate these pictorial representations in this arrangement here. Next, A faces vacant seat and D faces Q. A faces vacant seat and D faces Q. So A faces vacant seat, how will it look like? A is in the top row, right? A will face the vacant seat. And D faces Q. D also will be in the top row, D faces Q. A and D need not be together. The only point is D will face Q, A will face the vacant seat. Next, there are 3 seats between S and Q. There are 3 seats between S and Q. There are 3 seats between S and Q. So S dash 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 Q. Again, important point to be noted here is it can be S dash 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 Q or Q dash 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 S. These two can be interchanged because all that is known to us is that there are 3 seats between S and Q. But what is the order of S and Q is not known. It can be S dash 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 Q or Q dash 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 S. That is the reason we have put this arrow here. These two are interchangeable. Okay, 3 seats between S and Q. Who does not face the one who has scored 83? See, remember in these statements, whenever we say who, we refer to the previous person, the preceding person. So who here refers to Q. There are 3 seats between S and Q. Who does not face 83? Q does not face 83. Remember, Q will not face 83. Keep that in mind. Right? Q will not face 83. Next, T sits opposite to a boy who got 73. T is opposite to a boy who got 73. You know that T is in the bottom row. T will be opposite to whom? To a boy who got 73. All these points will be required when we are filling up the gaps. E sits just right of one of the vacant seat. E sits just right of one of the vacant seats. So E is on the just right. Just means what? Immediate. Just right is immediate right. You understand? Just right is immediate right. So E sits just on the right hand side of one of the vacant seat. Remember, E is in the top row. Top row guys are facing south. So right for the top row would mean towards our left hand side. That clarity has to be there. So if I have to make a pictorial representation of this statement, it says E is just on the right hand side of vacant seat. So if this is the vacant seat, E will come on this side. This is the right hand side of vacant seat because we are talking about the south facing row. Right? So this is another point that E and the vacant seat will come together in that fashion. R faces the vacant seat that is second to the right of A. R faces the vacant seat that is second to the right of A. Now this point is very, very useful. R is facing the vacant seat. R is facing the vacant seat. See, try and understand. R is in the bottom row. R is facing the vacant seat. R is facing the vacant seat. Right? R is facing the vacant seat. That is second to the right of A. That is second to the right of A. That is what? That is refers to what? The vacant seat. Here, that is refers to the vacant seat. So R faces the vacant seat, which is second to the right of A. The vacant seat is second to the right of A. Second to the right of A. Remember, second to the right of A, which means A will come here. You understand? It looks a little clumsy. I mean, I'm trying to save space here so that all the possible cases can be tried out. But yeah, the idea is this. Let me remove this. You know that E and X are together. Right? We know that E and the vacant seat are together in this fashion. Okay. Now the point made here is this. R is facing the vacant seat. So R is facing the vacant seat, which is second to the right of A. See, this is second to the right of A, right? First and second. This vacant seat is second to the right of A. First and second. First right of A, second right of A. Because right of A should be towards our left hand side. A is in the top row. So R is facing the vacant seat, which is second to the right of A. Which is second to the right of A. We also know, I mean, if you now observe, we also know that A is facing the vacant seat. So in one way, this is kind of giving us some arrangement, right? A is also facing the vacant seat. This point, you see, A is facing the vacant seat. So this should be the vacant. This is how it will come. So vacant seat dash A in the bottom row, R dash vacant seat. Vacant seat dash A in the bottom row, R dash vacant seat. We also know that E is together with the vacant seat in the top row. So E should come here. E vacant seat dash A in the bottom row dash R dash X. Dash R dash X. So this is one piece that we have got. This is one piece of information that you have got. I mean, kind of 4-4 seat arrangement is done now. You understand? E vacant dash A here in the bottom row dash R dash vacant. That's the idea. So 4-4 seat arrangement is done. 4-4 seat arrangement is done. Yeah. Again, there are a lot of other points. The one who has scored 83 faces the one who's 4 to the left of the one who has got 91. There's only one seat between the one who got 81 and the one who got 83 and so on. But what I would like to do now is that, you know, try this particular item here. See, we have got a pictorial representation. This pictorial representation uses this point, it uses this point, and the point that we had with respect to R and A. So let me fix it here. See, we know that in the bottom row it is going to be dash R dash X. Dash R dash X. These 4 seats, right? Dash R dash X. So where can it come? It can come here. Dash R dash X, or dash R dash X, or dash R dash X. So there are 2 possibilities. If you observe, there are only 2 possibilities in which I can take this up in the arrangement. For example, let's say this is a vacant seat. There are 4 seats here, right? Dash R dash X. I'm looking at the bottom row. Dash R dash X. So dash R dash X. These 4 can take up. Can we start dash R dash X here? Basically, I'm trying to put R. I can put R in the second position. So R, and then this will be vacant seat. Can I put R in the third position? No. If I put R in the third position, vacant seat should come here, but that's not possible because this person has scored 91%, right? If this is a vacant seat, how will percentage come here? Not possible. But the other possibility is R can come here and vacant seat can come here. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this. You getting it? Let me remove this first, tell you what I'm doing. I'm sure many of you have followed, but the point I'm trying to make is there are 2 possibilities. See, if you read it properly, meticulously, then you'll be able to avoid multiple possibilities. I'm getting 2 possibilities, right? I'm duplicating this idea first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is definite is 91 will come here, right? 91 will come here. Now I'm fixing this item. Dash R dash X. So dash R dash X, or it can be dash R dash X. X is vacant seat. There's no other way out. This is the only way where R and X can come here. Yeah, I cannot take R in the third position, because if I take R in the third position, vacant seat will come here, but this seat is for 91% students, so it cannot be vacant. So these are the 2 cases. This is case 1 and this is case 2. Now I think we can fill up the gaps in case 1 and case 2. And by the way, R is facing vacant seat. Here also R is facing vacant seat. Yeah, that's done. Then beside the vacant seat we have E. Here beside the vacant seat we have E. Then vacancy dash A, vacancy dash A, vacancy dash A. Yeah, all these points have been marked. So this pictorial representation that we had here has been plotted. EX dash A and R dash X. EX dash A and R dash X. Okay. Now use the other points. This point also has been used. Okay. Now what else can be used? Anything that can be used from this data. P is opposite to 81, but P can come anywhere, right? P can come here, P can come here, P can come here or here. D is opposite to Q. D is opposite to Q means what? DQ can take these 2 positions, they can take these 2, or they can take these 2 also. So a lot of possibilities as of now. So let's read the other statements and see if something useful is given. The one who scored 83 faces the one who sits 4 to the left of the one who scored 91. This point is useful, right? 91 is fixed. 91 is fixed, so I can use this point. The one who secured 83 faces the one who sits 4th to the left of the one who scored 91. Now first of all, find out this person. 4th to the left of 91. 4th to the left of 91. Now this is 91, right? This is 91. Left of 91 is our left. 4 to the left of 91. First, second, third, fourth. 4 to the left of 91 is this position, right? First, second, third, fourth. 4 to the left of 91 is this position. So the one who secured 83% faces the one who sits 4 to the left of 91. You're able to follow. Whoever has got 83% is facing the one who's 4 to the left of 91. So 4 to the left of 91 is this. This person is facing 83. So 83 comes for this position. Similarly, 83 here comes for this position. You understand? So another point has been obtained. Okay, you can re-verify if you want. The one who scored 83 faces the one. 83 is facing this person who is 4 to the left of 91. 83 is facing this person who is 4 to the left of 91. Anything else that we have with respect to 83 now? No. So this is done. There is only one seat between the one who got 81 and the one who got 83. This also can be fixed. He said there is only one seat between 81 and 83. So if 83 is here, 81 has to be here. 83 is here, 81 has to be here. Now we already know that 81 is opposite to P. See, now we have got a statement with respect to 81, right? 81 is opposite to P. Pictorial representation was already done. So fix that. 81 should be opposite to P. So this should be P. 81 should be opposite to P. This should be P. Right? Then anything that we know with respect to P already? No. Okay. Next point. The one who got 94 sits on the immediate right of 74. 94 on the immediate right of 74, not possible. 74 is near to B. No. Okay, I think I'm jumping to this statement. You say here it says one seat is vacant between P and Q. Already P is fixed, right? So I can put Q probably. One seat is vacant between P and Q. One seat is vacant between P and Q. P is already fixed here. One seat is vacant between P and Q, which means if P is here, Q can either come in this position or in this position. Similarly, if P is here, Q can either come here or here. There should be one seat between P and Q, right? So both sides are possible. Q can come here or here. Similarly, Q can come here or here. But then I know that Q should be opposite to D. See this point. Q has to be opposite to D. If I take Q here in this position, it becomes opposite to E. So that's not possible, which means Q comes here. And if Q comes here, opposite will be D. Yes or no? But in case 2, both are possible. Q should be opposite to D. Q can come here, this can be D. Q can come here, this can be D, both are possible. So with respect to case 1, at least it is complete, right? And then this point, you look at this point, there are 3 seats between S and Q, 3 seats between S and Q. So if Q is here, 1, 2, 3, S has to come here. Yeah? Yeah, so case 1 is getting complete, but case 2 is still, there are multiple possibilities, right? Q can come here or here. If required, we can take both the possibilities and check which one is correct. That also can be done. You understand? There are 2 possibilities, either Q comes here or here. So if you don't want to spend more time thinking about what could be correct, you can duplicate this case as it is, case 2 as it is. Take Q in this position in one case and in the other position in the other case. Yeah? Let me see if there's any other way to eliminate it. Achha, by the way, with respect to case 1, you see, P, Q, R and S have already been plotted. So this has to be T. And if this is T, then this has to be 73. Yes or no? Because T is opposite to 73. By the way, with respect to case 2, if you see, you know that Q will either come here or here. Wherever Q comes, in the other place S will come, because there are 3 places between S and Q. There are 3 places between S and Q, right? So if Q comes here, dash, 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 S. Or if Q comes here, dash, 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 S. So definitely Q or S. Q or S. So T will come here. And if T comes here, opposite is 73. This will be 73. So this point has also been used. Right? D will be opposite to Q. So wherever Q comes, D would come there. Achha, by the way, look at this point. There are 2 places between T and 77. This point we have not used so far. T dash dash 71. So T dash dash 77. This should be 77. In this case, T is coming in this position. See, T dash dash 77. Here we have T, then dash dash 77. It is going out of the arrangement, right? So this is actually a wrong case. So don't worry about it at all. Case 1 has to be correct. Now we have to complete case 1. Case 2 is getting eliminated. Why is case 2 getting eliminated? Because this point 77 dash dash T is not getting fixed here. T is in this position. Where will you put 77? Not possible. Here it has got fixed. 77 dash dash and then T. Yeah. Let's do the other things now. So I think with respect to what all we had noted, everything has been covered. 81P is opposite. SQ, 77T, A vacant, DQ, 73T. Yeah, this also has been done. This also has been done. So I think all the pictorial representations are done. We just have to fill the gaps now. Now bottom row is done. P, Q, R, S, T. In the top row we have A, D, E, C and B have to be placed. Achha, that also can be fixed. See, one point which said C is not at the extreme end. I remember this. C does not sit at any extreme end. C cannot come here. If C cannot come here, because C, this is an extreme end, right? C cannot come here. So C has to come here. If C comes here, then B will come in this position. So I think with respect to persons, the arrangement is done. All we have to do is now the marks. So let's fix the marks. 94 sits immediate right of 74. The one who got 94 is on the immediate right of 74. The one who scored 74 sits near to B. See, the one who's got 74 sits near to B. So obviously 74 has to come here. And then 94 will come here. And the previous point is also satisfied. The one who secured 94 is on the immediate right of 74. You see, 94 is on the immediate right of 74. Remember, this is a south facing row. So right should be taken this side. 94 is on the immediate right of 74, right? Immediate right of 74. Yes or no? So that point is also fixed. 74 should be near B, he said. Obviously 74 will come here. And then 94. So top row, the persons are done, marks are also done. This will anyway be vacant seat, right? No percentage there. Lot of other data is there. I think we can fill the gaps. The one who scored 74 is near to B. The one who got 71 faces the one who is adjacent to vacant seat. Sorry, the one who got 71 faces the one. Look at this point. The one who got 71 percentage faces the one who sits adjacent to vacant seat. I think 71 will come here according to that statement, because whoever has got 71 faces the one. See, 71 is facing E, who is adjacent to vacant seat. See, if this vacant seat is considered, adjacent persons are P and Q, and the facing persons are C and D, for whom 81 and 74 have already been fixed. So 71 cannot come there. Other possibility is this vacant seat. The neighbors are E and C. Who is facing E and C? S and P. For P, 77 is already fixed. So 71 has to come here. Yes or no? So the one who got 71 percentage faces the one who is adjacent to vacant seat. So 71 percentage is facing E, who is adjacent to vacant seat. It's not possible otherwise. Done. The one who got 92 is adjacent to the one who got 81. Sorry, hold on. The one who got 92 sits adjacent to the one who faces the one who got 81. Okay. So who faces the one who got 81? Who is facing the one who got 81? 81 has been obtained by C. The person facing C is P. Now he says the one who has scored 92 percentage is adjacent to P. Who faces the one who got 81 is P. This is P, right? This can be replaced with P. So the one who got 92 is adjacent to P. 92 is adjacent to P. So 92 has to come here. Done. Only 1 percentage is left out, right? All the others are done. Which percentage left out? 83, 81, 94, 83, 81, 94, 74, 73 are done. In the bottom row, 71 is done. 92, 77, 91, 92, 70. What is left out? 80 is left out. 80 has to come here. Yeah, done. I think the arrangement is already done. There's a lot of data left out, but we have already finished the arrangement. This is the final arrangement. Whatever is there in the green box, right? The final arrangement. So I think a lot of redundant statements are there. If you observe, some statements are not required. Like for example, the one who scored 73 sits at the extreme end. I already know 73 is at the extreme end, right? So this is not useful. Not useful as in it's a useless statement. I already know that 73 is at the extreme end. Yeah. Then here this statement, there is one, see this statement also is not required. There is one vacant seat between the one who got 81 and the one who got 83. I don't know if you had used that or we have already got it. But this definitely is, the one highlighted in yellow is not required because we already know that 73 is at the extreme end. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the arrangement. Let's answer the questions now. Answer the questions. The first one. Who among the following has scored 91? Who scored 91? Q. Q has scored 91, right? So Q is the answer. Next question. Who among the following faces the one who scored 10 percentage marks more than the one who has scored the third highest score among boys? Okay, I'll have to go back to the arrangement to answer this, but a big question here. What does it say? Who among the following faces the one who has scored 10 percentage marks more than the one who has scored third highest score among boys? First of all, let's find out the guy who has scored third highest score among boys. One who has scored third highest score among boys. Who's the third highest score among boys? See, boys are in the, who are boys? A, B, C, D. Boys are in the row 1, right? Row 1. So these are boys. A, B, C, D are boys, right? Who is the third highest scorer among boys? Among boys, the highest score is 94. Second highest is 83. Third highest is 81. So third highest scorer among boys is C, 81. Now go back to this question. So the one who has scored third highest among boys is C. Now read the question. Who among the following faces the one who has scored 10% more marks than C? 10% more marks than C. Find out who has scored 10% more marks than C. C has scored 81. 10% more than 81 should be 91. Who has scored 91? Q. Q. So now the question changes. You see, the one who has scored 10% more marks than C is Q. So this whole thing gets replaced by Q. Now reread the question. Who among the following faces Q? Who faces Q? That's the actual question. Who is facing Q? D is facing Q. So the answer to this question should be D. So first of all, find out who has scored third highest among boys, then who has scored 10% more than that person, and then who was the person facing that person. Anyway, next question. Who among the following is second to the left of the person who has scored second least marks among all? Second to the left of the person who has scored second least marks among all. So first of all, find out who is second least marks among all, who has got second least marks among all. So I think the least is 71 here, right? Least is 71. Second least should be 73, so it is B. Yes or no? Least is 71, second least is 73, which is B. So this can be replaced with B. Now read the question. Who among the following is second to the left of B? Second to the left of B. Second to the left of B. See, I think second to the left of B does not exist at all, because left of B is on our right hand side, right? So first and second to the left of B, this position does not exist at all. So second to the left of B does not exist. That position does not exist. It cannot be C, P, D, A. It should be none of these. Actual answer is position does not exist. Position does not exist. Second to the left of B does not exist. You're getting it? Second to the left of B does not exist. Yeah? Then the last one. I think the next one. Which of the following pair is different from others? Which of the following pair is different from others? Now this also, I think the data is required, arrangement is required. So let's look at the arrangement. Which of the following is different from others? EQ. What are the pairs? EQ, DP, BS. Let me just check. EQ, DP, BS. EQ 83, 91. DP 74, 77. BS 73, 71. Let me write down the scores. I am not getting into EQ 83, 91. DP 74, 77. 83, 91, 74, 77. What is BS? BS will be 73, 71. Sorry. See, this difficulty will not be there if you have the arrangement on paper, right? 73, 71. Then we have AQ. Q is 91. A I have to find out. CT. ACT. Find out their scores. ACT scores. A has got 94. C has got 81. T has got 80. 94, 81 and 80. 94, 81, 80. So either with respect to marks or with respect to their positions, there should be something common about 4 of these pairs. 3% difference, 2% difference, 3% difference, 1% difference, 7-8% difference. With respect to marks, I don't see anything. With respect to positions, is there anything? EQ, DP, BS, AQCT, AQCT. I don't think with respect to positions also there is anything common here, right? Random positions.
Yeah, so I think many of you have marked the EQ as the answer. EQ, some of you have marked BS. Mayur has marked AQ.
What is the reason? See, the one thing I can think of here is that, you know, if you see for DP, BS, AQ and CT, the scores are in the same range, like 70s. Here both the scores are in 70s, here both the scores are in 70s, here both the scores are in 90s, here both the scores are in 80s. Only for E and Q, one score is in 80s, the other score is in 90s. So that way EQ looks to be odd. EQ may be odd, I'm not sure. Let me tell you, this is like classification, right? There's no formula to get the answer for classification based questions, right? I think that way this is the last question here. Yeah, but if you have a stronger reason, please let me know. I think for this particular question we will all have to collaborate and find out which one is the right answer. In my view, EQ can be taken as answer because here the range is different. One is in 80s, the other is in 90s. For rest of the persons, the rest of the pairs, the scores are in the same range, right? 80s or 90s or 70s. Yeah, and also the fact that these are adjacent rankings. If you see DP, 74 and 77 are adjacent ranks. Between 74 and 77 there cannot be any rank, right? 74 and 77. Yes, I think this is EQ is the answer. EQ is the answer definitely, because D and P are adjacent ranked persons. 77 and 74 are adjacent. 71 and 73 are also adjacent in terms of ranking, right? 94 and 91 are also adjacent, right? Is there anything between 94 and 91? No. No, I think adjacent rank cannot be taken as a reason because 92 is between 94 and 91. Achha, that way 83 and 91 are also adjacent rank persons, right? Anything between 83 and 91, 84 is not there, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Yeah, so I have a stronger reason. I think EQ is not the answer, sorry. We should take AQ as the answer. Sorry, I'll tell you why. AQ is the answer in my view because all others are adjacent ranked. All other pairs have got adjacent ranks except A and Q. Because you see, rank of A and Q, I'll tell you. The scores of A and Q are what? A has got 94, Q has got 91. So 94 and 91, but between 94 and 91 we also have 92 here. So A and Q cannot be adjacent ranked persons. Remaining all are adjacent ranked persons. Yeah, so that's a stronger reason. I think option 4 should be the answer. AQ should be the answer. Good. Who has pointed that out? AQ is the answer in my view because all others have got adjacent ranked persons. Yeah. And with this, we come to the end of this arrangement. So I think arrangement was not very complex. I mean, if you take up two possible cases as we had found and try to fill in the gaps using all the data given there, somewhere or the other you will eliminate one of those two and you can then complete the other one. But yeah, I think this last question was a little tricky. I couldn't get a strong reason for that. But somebody rightly pointed out that yes, out of 5 pairs here, 4 pairs have got adjacent ranked persons except A and Q, and hence that is the odd one. Alright, good. So we are done with this complex linear arrangement where we had to arrange 10 persons in 2 rows, one row facing south and the other row facing north. Interesting one, and I think that is it. We'll have to close the session here. I wish I could solve more questions, but time is not on our side. We have another session coming up at 2 o'clock on quantitative aptitude. So let's break the session here. We will meet again at 2 with the next session on IBPS Clerk's main exam refresher, which will be on quantitative aptitude. And like I said, all these questions were chosen from the All India mock exam and the other mock exams that we had published as a part of the TalentSprint program, and these were some of the most difficult questions. I mean, questions which were not answered by many of our students, so we thought we should be taking it up as a refresher. But anyway, the point is, reasoning is one section where there will be a lot of puzzles and a lot of arrangements that will be asked, right? There is no method or technique to get the answer. Every puzzle is different. All you have to do is make sure that you read not only the data given, but
in between the lines and find out the hidden clues so that you can complete it. But you never know how much time it's going to take. So my strict advice to all of you is not to attempt such questions in the exam. Like for example, this linear arrangement based question that we have done should ideally be skipped in the exam. You should not try it. You should solve the remaining questions first, the easier ones first, like machine input output, syllogisms, coded inequalities, directions, blood relations, because there is a definite method in all these topics, right? We can always find the answer. Puzzles and arrangements, there is no guarantee. And you may end up wasting like 10-15 minutes of your time without getting any solution at all. And that's a big risk, right? So I think keep in mind when you go for your IBPS Clerk's main exam on this Sunday, skip is one of the best shortcuts when it comes to questions from reasoning ability. On that note, let me close it here. Thank you once again for joining us in this session. We'll meet again for the next session, which will be on quantitative aptitude shortly from now. Till then, I don't think you should be practicing in this short 45 minutes of span. Have your lunch and get ready for the next session at 2 p.m. See you all. Bye.